Have you ever gone to bed believing you were doing something healthy, sipping a soothing drink to help you drift off, only to wake up with a pounding heart and unexplained morning headaches? If you're over 60, that quiet bedtime ritual might be working against you more than you realize. Recent research from the American Heart Association suggests that as we age, our blood vessels lose nearly 30% of their natural elasticity. That means what you drink after dinner can have a far greater impact on your blood pressure overnight than it did when you were younger. The scary part? Some of the most common relaxing beverages, things many people believe are harmless, can cause a silent spike in pressure while you sleep. You can't feel it happening, but your heart is forced to work harder for hours, which may explain those restless nights or the dizzy spells when you first stand up in the morning. The good news is that a simple change in your evening routine can start easing that strain almost immediately. Tonight, I'll reveal 3 drinks that quietly push blood pressure higher after 60, and introduce a gentle, calming sip you can enjoy instead to help your heart stay steady and strong. As evening settles in and the day's pace finally slows, most people assume their blood pressure follows suit. But inside a body over 60, the nighttime story is often the opposite. Your arteries, once springy and resilient, have gradually lost much of their natural flexibility. Think of them like a garden hose left out in the sun for years. The walls stiffen, tiny cracks form, and the hose can no longer expand and contract smoothly when water rushes through. A similar stiffening happens inside your blood vessels, and it makes every surge of fluid more forceful, especially while you sleep. Medical researchers call this nocturnal hypertension, and it's far more common than most seniors realize. A 2023 Johns Hopkins analysis found that more than 40% of adults over 60 experience elevated nighttime blood pressure even when their daytime readings look normal. That hidden pressure quietly wears on the heart and kidneys, forcing them to pump and filter with extra effort for hours. Over months and years, this strain can lead to morning headaches, foggy thinking, and, for some, a higher risk of heart attack or stroke. What makes the nighttime period so tricky is the natural drop in hormone levels as we age. After 60, your body produces less melatonin and nitric oxide, both key players in relaxing blood vessels. Less relaxation means your arteries stay slightly constricted. Add to that a slowdown in kidney efficiency, roughly a 30% decline compared to midlife, and it becomes harder to clear excess sodium before bed. The result is a perfect storm. Stiffer arteries, higher fluid volume, and a heart that has to push harder just when you expect it to rest. Now layer in everyday habits. Maybe you unwind with a sweet herbal tea, a late-night cocoa, or even a warm mug of a healthy, energy drink. Each seems harmless, but hidden caffeine, natural stimulants, or sneaky sugars can spike adrenaline and cortisol. Those hormones act like tiny alarms, tightening vessels and nudging blood pressure upward just as you drift off. Because the effects are internal and silent, you won't feel them until you wake up with that racing pulse or notice swelling in your ankles and fingers. Doctors like Dr. Miriam Sanchez, a cardiologist at Stanford, warn that this pattern often goes undetected because standard blood pressure checks happen during the day. Many of my patients are shocked when overnight monitoring reveals pressure surges of 20 to 30 points, she explains. They think they're safe because their daytime readings are normal. The good news is that your body is still eager to protect itself. Even at 70, your endothelium, the delicate lining of your blood vessels, can respond within days to the right foods and calming bedtime rituals. A Japanese study published in 2022 showed that seniors who adjusted their evening drinks and practiced a short breathing routine lowered nocturnal pressure by an average of 11 points in just 3 weeks. That's the kind of turnaround you can feel when you climb stairs or wake up without that morning fog. So as you picture your own nightly routine, consider what's really happening beneath the surface. Every sip you take after dinner is an instruction to your heart and arteries. Some drinks whisper relax, while others quietly shout work harder. Knowing the difference is the key to gentler nights, steadier mornings, and a heart that stays strong well past 60. Picture the quiet of evening. The dishes are done, the lights are low, and you're ready to settle in. Yet without realizing it, small choices from sunrise to bedtime have been setting you up for a night of higher blood pressure. Let's walk through a typical day and uncover the hidden triggers that can turn restful sleep into a silent cardiovascular workout. Start in the morning with something as innocent as that second cup of coffee. Even if you drink it before noon, caffeine can linger for 6 to 8 hours. For someone over 60, metabolism is slower, so traces of caffeine may still be in your system when you turn out the lights. That residual stimulant keeps your nervous system on alert, nudging your arteries to stay a little tighter. You might not feel wired, but your heart senses the signal. By lunchtime you may reach for packaged soups, deli meats, or a light frozen meal, items that often carry double or triple the daily recommended sodium in a single serving. A 2022 Harvard review found that hidden sodium accounts for nearly 70% of total intake in older adults. The salt draws extra fluid into your bloodstream, increasing volume and pressure long after dinner. Imagine filling a water balloon just past the limit. It takes only a bit more to make it feel taut and stressed. Afternoon habits add another layer. That midday nap in a recliner can be restorative, but if it replaces even a short walk, your circulation slows. Blood pools in the legs, and the next time you stand, your body compensates with a quick pressure spike. Over months, that inactivity teaches your vessels to stay less flexible. Dinner brings its own stealthy culprits. Restaurant takeout, even when labeled healthy, often hides sugars and salt in sauces and marinades. Alcohol, too, plays a double game. A small glass of wine early in the evening may relax you at first, but as it metabolizes, it can disrupt sleep and trigger a rebound rise in blood pressure. The same is true of so-called nightcap cocktails. They sedate briefly but stimulate as the liver works overnight. Then there are the comforting drinks many believe are harmless or even beneficial before bed. A mug of hot chocolate, for example, carries not only sugar but natural caffeine from cocoa. Some herbal teas, like ginseng or guarana blends, contain mild stimulants. Even a glass of natural fruit juice can load your bloodstream with quick sugars that the pancreas scrambles to manage, releasing insulin and subtle stress hormones. Think about the ritual. You settle into your favorite chair, breathe in the rich scent of cocoa or the floral steam of a trendy herbal blend, and feel a wave of relaxation. Yet inside, your heart receives a different message, one of activity and alertness. The effect isn't dramatic enough to wake you outright, but it quietly keeps blood pressure from dipping to the healthy nighttime range your body expects. Environment matters too. A bedroom that's a few degrees too warm can prevent the core temperature drop that signals deep sleep, increasing heart rate and pressure. Blue light from late-night television or phone scrolling suppresses melatonin, which normally helps arteries relax. Even a persistent drip from a leaky faucet or distant street noise can cause microarousals, tiny awakenings that elevate stress hormones without your awareness. And let's not forget medications and supplements. Certain decongestants, pain relievers like NSAIDs, or even natural energy boosters can raise blood pressure for hours. Many seniors take multiple prescriptions, and a single overlooked interaction may amplify nighttime surges. Pharmacists often recommend an annual medication review for this reason. All of these triggers build a layered picture. Caffeine residue, hidden sodium, sugary evening treats, a warm room, a buzzing phone screen, a decongestant tablet. None seems dramatic on its own, but together they create an invisible tide pushing against your arteries. The result can be a nocturnal pressure rise of 10, 20, even 30 points compared with daytime levels. The encouraging news is that each trigger is modifiable. Awareness is the first step. When you notice how your day quietly feeds into your night, you regain control. In a few moments we'll count down specific remedies and calming sips that can help you unwind without the hidden spikes. But for now, simply imagine how different your evenings could feel if you removed even 2 or 3 of these silent stressors. A calmer heart, a steadier morning, and a body that finally gets the deep restorative rest it deserves. Let's begin a slow, soothing countdown of 10 gentle drinks and bedtime habits that help your blood pressure settle naturally through the night. Think of each step as a small door you can open towards steadier sleep and a calmer heart. 10. Warm lemon water with a pinch of magnesium. Imagine holding a cup of water just warmer than body temperature, steam rising as you squeeze in a slice of fresh lemon. A tiny pinch of magnesium citrate dissolves silently, adding a mineral your body uses to relax blood vessels. A 2021 review from the American Heart Association noted that magnesium supports natural vasodilation, helping arteries release tension. Sip this 30 minutes before bed and you may feel a soft, almost imperceptible loosening in your chest. 9. Lightly steeped chamomile tea. You've heard of chamomile, but the key is a gentle steep, no more than 4 minutes, so the flavor is mild and the temperature soothing rather than scalding. Researchers at the University of Pennsylvania found that older adults drinking chamomile nightly reported improved sleep quality and a slight reduction in evening blood pressure. Picture a meadow at dusk. That's the calm you invite when you cradle this floral cup. 8. Tart cherry infusion. Tart cherries are rich in natural melatonin. A 2020 Louisiana State University trial showed that adults who drank unsweetened tart cherry juice had lower nighttime systolic pressure by an average of 5 points. To avoid sugar spikes, dilute 1 ounce of unsweetened concentrate in warm water. The deep ruby aroma carries a gentle sweetness without the crash. 7. cinnamon cardamom almond milk. Heat unsweetened almond milk and stir in a quarter teaspoon of cinnamon with a whisper of cardamom. Both spices contain compounds that support healthy insulin sensitivity, easing nighttime blood sugar surges that can nudge pressure upward. Let the aroma fill your kitchen. Its warm, bakery-like scent signals comfort to your senses. 6. Golden milk with turmeric and ginger. This vibrant golden drink, made by simmering turmeric and a sliver of fresh ginger and oat or almond milk, is not just beautiful. A 2022 Johns Hopkins review highlighted curcumin's ability to support healthy endothelial function, the delicate lining of your blood vessels. Add a crack of black pepper to help absorption, and take slow, mindful sips while you feel its gentle heat spread. 5. Hibiscus cranberry cooler, served warm. Though known as a summertime drink, warm hibiscus tea offers a tangy embrace that has impressed researchers for years. A 2019 study from Tufts University found daily hibiscus tea lowered systolic pressure by up to 7 points in adults with mild hypertension. Mix in a splash of unsweetened cranberry for extra antioxidants and a ruby glow. 4. Decaf rooibos with a hint of vanilla. Rooibos, naturally caffeine-free and rich in aspartame, supports stress hormone balance. A South African trial in 2021 observed improved nighttime heart rate variability, a sign of calmer cardiovascular activity, among older adults who enjoyed rooibos in the evening. A drop of vanilla extract rounds out its earthy flavor, making each sip taste like a gentle dessert. 3. Warm cucumber mint water. This may surprise you, but lightly warmed water infused with cucumber slices and fresh mint can be profoundly refreshing. The subtle aroma signals the nervous system to unwind. Mint's menthol helps open nasal passages, promoting deeper breathing and better oxygenation, key for stable blood pressure overnight. 2. Simple deep breath ritual with plain warm water. Sometimes the drink itself is secondary. Holding a cup of plain warm water while practicing slow 4-count breathing triggers the vagus nerve, lowering heart rate and pressure. A 2023 University of California study confirmed that paced breathing before bed can reduce systolic readings by an average of 6 points within 2 weeks. Feel the cup's heat in your palms, and let each inhale match the gentle rising steam. 1. The calming sip, lavender honey water. Here's the star of our countdown. Lavender, when steeped lightly, releases linalool, a natural aromatic compound shown in a 2022 Japanese clinical trial to reduce nighttime blood pressure by relaxing the parasympathetic nervous system. Add just a half teaspoon of raw honey, not for sweetness alone but for a trace of prebiotics that nourish gut microbes linked to healthy vascular function. Take the first sip with eyes closed, noticing the soft floral perfume drift upward. This is your nightly signal that rest and healing have begun. Now imagine weaving these drinks into a bedtime rhythm. You might start with a slow dimming of lights, then brew whichever cup calls to you that evening. While it steeps, turn off screens and let quiet settle. By the time the liquid touches your lips, your heart is already responding to the ritual of calm. These 10 options aren't rigid prescriptions. Think of them as a palette. Some nights you may crave the spicy warmth of golden milk. Other nights, the meadow-soft chamomile. What matters most is the practice. A deliberate, soothing drink that replaces stimulants or sugary beverages. Each choice signals safety to your nervous system, guiding blood pressure down toward its natural nighttime dip. When combined with the awareness from earlier, avoiding late caffeine, hidden sodium, and high-sugar treats, these sips form a gentle shield for your heart. And unlike medications that force a drop, these drinks invite your own biology to relax, allowing vessels to widen naturally. Over days and weeks, you may wake to steadier mornings and a lighter, more energetic start. Now let's bring these ideas to life with real-world voices, people just like you who found calm, steady nights and healthier mornings by making small evening changes. Picture Evelyn, a 72-year-old retired teacher in Ohio. For years she woke at 2 a.m. with a pounding in her temples and a dry mouth that made her reach for another glass of plain water. Her doctor warned her that her systolic blood pressure hovered around 150 at bedtime, a level that can strain the heart during sleep. One cool autumn night she tried the lavender honey water we just discussed. She remembers the first sip. The scent alone slowed my breathing, she said with a soft laugh. Within 2 weeks of repeating the ritual, her nightly readings slipped into the 120s. Evelyn describes the change not as a miracle, but as a gentle settling, like my body finally remembered how to exhale. Half a continent away in Phoenix, Arizona, we meet Charles, 68, a former long-haul trucker. Years of odd schedules left him with restless legs and occasional surges of high pressure after midnight. His granddaughter suggested the golden milk recipe with turmeric and ginger. Charles started making it every night at 9 p.m., whisking the spices into almond milk while listening to old jazz records. It became my slow-down alarm, he says. After a month he noticed his ankles weren't as swollen in the mornings, and his home monitor showed lower nighttime numbers. A cardiology nurse later told him the magnesium in almond milk and the anti-inflammatory effect of turmeric can indeed support healthier arteries. It's like a warm handshake for my heart, Charles jokes. Then there's Maya, 66, a retired librarian in Toronto. Maya struggled not only with high blood pressure but also with sleeplessness that made her mornings foggy and her balance unsteady. She began with chamomile tea but found the flavor too light for her taste, so she experimented with hibiscus cranberry. The vivid ruby color and gentle tartness delighted her senses. It felt like a small celebration, she recalls. Within a few weeks, she experienced fewer midnight awakenings and her doctor noted a modest but steady drop in diastolic pressure. A small 2019 Tufts University study supports her observation, showing hibiscus tea can lower systolic readings by about 7 points. For Maya, the ritual is as important as the drink. When I watch the steam rise and the color deepen, I feel the day slipping away. Not every story is about tea. In rural Kentucky, 70-year-old Frank preferred a simpler path. He never liked herbal drinks and thought all this talk of floral infusion sounded fussy. But he was willing to try the warm water breathing practice. Each evening he fills a mug with comfortably hot water, sits on his porch and matches each sip to a slow 4-count inhale and exhale. I figured I can breathe and drink water, he says with a grin. After 2 weeks, his wife noticed he wasn't snoring as loudly. His next checkup revealed an average nighttime blood pressure 6 points lower. Frank now calls it my porch meditation, and says he feels calmer not just at night but throughout the day. Let's travel to the West Coast, where 69-year-old Linda from Seattle combines several of these ideas. She prepares a cinnamon cardamom almond milk while diffusing a few drops of lavender oil in her bedroom. Linda's physician had warned her about borderline hypertension, and she wanted to avoid medication if possible. After a month of this nightly ritual, her morning readings were consistently in the healthy range. It's not just the drink, she says. It's giving myself permission to slow down. She also reports fewer late-night sugar cravings, a hidden benefit since excess evening sugar can spike blood pressure. Across the Atlantic in Brighton, England, we meet George, a 74-year-old gardener. George enjoys the tart cherry infusion for its natural melatonin. I sleep like the soil after a rain, he says poetically. A 2020 Louisiana State University trial supports his experience, noting that tart cherry juice can reduce nighttime systolic pressure by an average of 5 points while promoting deeper sleep. George mixes 1 ounce of unsweetened concentrate with warm water and sips it while planning the next day's pruning. It's my twilight toast to the garden, he smiles. Even seniors who travel can keep these habits. Take Gloria, 71, a retired flight attendant who spends winters in Florida and summers in Maine. She keeps small sachets of dried lavender and chamomile in her suitcase. Airbnb kitchens aren't always stocked, but hot water is universal, she explains. Gloria brews a light lavender tea wherever she lands, maintaining stable blood pressure despite changing time zones and climates. It's my anchor, she says, like carrying a piece of home in a tea bag. These personal journeys show that lowering nighttime blood pressure isn't about a single magic ingredient. It's about choosing a nightly act of care that tells your nervous system, it's safe to rest. Whether it's Evelyn's lavender honey, Charles's golden milk, Maya's hibiscus, Frank's porch meditation, Linda's cinnamon cardamom blend, George's tart cherry infusion, or Gloria's travel-friendly lavender sachets, each person found a path that fit their lifestyle and taste. Notice the common thread. None of them describe deprivation or strict rules. Instead, they speak of warmth, aroma, color, and the comfort of routine. The drinks are simple, but the effect is profound because they transform bedtime from a rushed afterthought into a deliberate practice of relaxation. Modern research supports this approach. A 2023 University of California study found that combining a warm beverage with 10 minutes of slow breathing lowered systolic readings by an average of 6 points in adults over 60. The science is clear. Gentle rituals, especially those involving warmth, scent, and mindful breathing, calm the vagus nerve and help blood vessels relax. As you listen to these stories, imagine your own evening. Maybe you already have a favorite cup or a quiet corner waiting. Maybe you've been meaning to replace late-night television with something calmer. You don't need to copy anyone exactly, You just need a ritual that signals safety to your body. It could be the sound of water boiling, the feel of a favorite mug, the faint clink of a spoon against ceramic. These details might seem small, but your nervous system notices every cue. Now, with these voices in mind, you can picture how your own bedtime might shift. Less hurried, more intentional, and more healing. And that sets the perfect stage for the next part of our journey. The most surprising remedy of all, the single calming sip that tops every list and offers a deep, science-backed payoff you may never have expected. And now we arrive at the single most surprising bedtime ally, one that quietly outshines every other remedy we've discussed tonight. You may have passed it in the grocery store 100 times without a second thought. It isn't exotic or expensive, yet its effect on nighttime blood pressure is backed by an impressive body of research. I'm talking about warm beetroot infusion. Yes, the humble beet. Stay with me here. Beets are naturally rich in dietary nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide, a compound that relaxes and widens blood vessels. This isn't a fad, it's basic vascular science. A 2022 study from the University of Exeter showed that adults over 60 who drank a small serving of warm beet beverage each evening experienced an average nighttime systolic drop of nearly 8 points in just 3 weeks. That's enough to move someone from borderline high to comfortably normal. What makes beets so powerful is their dual action. First, nitric oxide signals the smooth muscles in your arteries to loosen, allowing blood to flow with less resistance. Second, the deep crimson pigment, beta-cyanin, acts as an antioxidant, sweeping away the free radicals that stiffen vessels over time. And because these effects are gradual and natural, the body responds gently, without the harsh spikes or crashes of strong stimulants. Here's how to create the perfect bedtime version. Start with a fresh, small beet, about the size of a clenched fist. Peel it and slice it thin. Place the slices in a small saucepan with 2 cups of water. Add a thin slice of fresh ginger if you like a warming note, or a pinch of cinnamon for a soothing aroma. Simmer on the lowest heat for 15 minutes, allowing the water to turn a rich ruby red. Strain into your favorite mug and let it cool to a comfortable warmth. If you prefer a subtle sweetness, stir in half a teaspoon of raw honey, just enough to round out the earthiness without spiking sugar. The flavor is surprisingly mellow, slightly sweet, lightly earthy with a comforting depth. Many first-time tasters expect it to be heavy, but the gentle warmth and faint ginger aroma feel almost like a quiet hug from the inside out. Drink it about an hour before bedtime while you unwind with soft music or a short book chapter. That timing gives your body plenty of space to absorb the nitrates and begin generating nitric oxide before you drift off. Beyond blood pressure, beet infusion offers side benefits you might notice within a few weeks. A subtle lift in morning energy, steadier balance when you stand up, even a gentle glow to the skin thanks to improved circulation. And because it's naturally caffeine-free and low in calories, there's no risk of stimulating your system or disturbing sleep. Consider Margaret, a 73-year-old gardener from Vermont, who replaced her usual evening cocoa with warm beet infusion. At first I thought, beets? At night? But the color alone won me over, she laughs. After 3 weeks, she noticed her morning readings were consistently 10 points lower, and she woke with a sense of calm instead of the thudding pulse that used to greet her. Her doctor was pleasantly surprised and encouraged her to keep the ritual. If beets aren't readily available, you can still tap into the same effect by using 100% unsweetened beet powder, just half a teaspoon whisked into warm water. The key is to avoid added sugars or artificial flavors. Think of it as an evening tonic, a gentle partner to everything else you've learned tonight. Now, why does this single ingredient deserve the spotlight as our #1 remedy? Because it delivers measurable results supported by modern science, requires no expensive supplements, and fits naturally into a soothing bedtime routine. It's a small, intentional act that tells your heart, arteries, and nervous system, rest is here and you are safe. So as you plan tomorrow's grocery list, picture that deep red root waiting to transform your evenings. In the quiet hour before sleep, when the world slows and your heartbeat deserves peace, a warm beet infusion can help guide you there, calmly, naturally, and deliciously. Now that you know the top calming sip, let's pull everything together into a simple evening blueprint you can start tonight. Think of this as your personal nighttime blood pressure reset, a routine designed to guide your body into a state of deep rest while keeping those numbers in a healthy range. Begin with the day's gentle wind down. About 2 hours before bed, dim the lights around your home. Lowering light helps your brain release melatonin, the natural sleep hormone. Swap bright overhead bulbs for soft lamps or candlelight. If you like music, choose something slow and warm, jazz, classical, or nature sounds. This first step signals to your nervous system that the high-energy part of the day is over. Next, about 90 minutes before bedtime, move your body lightly. A 10-minute stroll around the block or a slow session of stretching works wonders. Gentle movement improves circulation and helps your arteries stay flexible, making it easier for blood pressure to settle overnight. Picture it as clearing the traffic from your bloodstream before the night shift begins. As you return home, prepare your calming drink. You might choose the beet infusion we explored earlier, or perhaps a lavender honey water, golden milk, or hibiscus tea, whatever suits your taste and mood. Take your time with the preparation. Slice the beet, steep the herbs, whisk the spices. This isn't just about the beverage, it's about creating a ritual of care. Studies show that intentional routines lower cortisol, the stress hormone that keeps blood pressure elevated. While your drink steeps, practice slow breathing. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and inhale through your nose for a count of 4, hold for 1, exhale for 6. Repeat for 5 to 10 minutes. A 2023 University of California study found that this simple pattern can drop systolic readings by up to 6 points in adults over 60. You might be surprised at how quickly your shoulders soften and your heartbeat steadies. When your drink is ready, savor it mindfully. Feel the warmth of the mug in your hands, notice the aroma rising with the steam, and take slow, unhurried sips. Let each swallow coincide with a deep breath. This pairing of warmth and mindful breathing tells your vagus nerve, the body's relaxation switch, that it's safe to rest. After you finish, keep the lights low and avoid screens. The blue light from phones and televisions can trick your brain into thinking it's still daytime, making blood pressure and heart rate stay higher. Instead, read a gentle book, listen to soft music, or enjoy quiet conversation. Many seniors find this screen-free window improves both the quality of sleep and the steadiness of morning blood pressure. Consider adding a few supportive habits throughout the day to strengthen your nighttime routine. 1. Morning hydration. Start your day with a full glass of room-temperature water and a squeeze of lemon to keep blood vessels supple. 2. Balanced midday meals. Focus on leafy greens, berries, whole grains, and lean proteins to provide the potassium and magnesium your cardiovascular system needs. 3. Afternoon pause. A brief 10-minute relaxation break, stretching, breathing, or even a few quiet moments by a window, helps lower stress hormones long before bedtime. You don't need to be perfect. The magic lies in consistency and intention, not strict rules. If you travel or have unexpected evenings, simply pick 1 or 2 elements you can manage, maybe the breathing practice or a quick warm water sip with a slice of lemon. Each step sends the same message of calm to your body. To make this blueprint easy, here's a sample evening schedule you can adapt. 1. 7 p.m., dim household lights, lower TV volume, switch to soft music. 2. 7:30 p.m., take a gentle stroll or do light stretching. 3. 8 p.m., begin preparing your calming drink. 4. 8:15 p.m., practice slow breathing while the beverage steeps. 5. 8:30 p.m., sip your drink mindfully, feeling the warmth and aroma. 6. 9 p.m., read, listen to calming audio or share quiet conversation. No screens. 7. 9:30 p.m., lights out, allowing a full night's rest. Remember, your body wants to heal. Even if your readings have been stubbornly high for years, each small action supports the natural systems that regulate pressure. You might notice subtle changes in a week: calmer nights, fewer pounding headaches, less morning dizziness. Over a month or 2, those changes can become measurable improvements your doctor will appreciate. Most importantly, treat this routine as a gift to yourself, not a chore. When you hold that warm mug and take your first deep breath, you're telling your heart, "I care for you." That simple message carries more power than any single ingredient. As you adopt these steps, you're not just lowering blood pressure, you're creating a sanctuary every evening, a space where your body can release the day's stress and prepare for deep, restorative sleep. And that's a routine worth protecting. And now, as the evening quiet settles in, remember this simple truth: your body is always trying to heal itself. Every gentle choice you make, the dimmed lights, the unhurried breaths, the warm, calming sip, becomes a signal to your heart and blood vessels that they can finally relax. Even if your numbers have crept up for years, even if you felt the worry that comes with each blood pressure reading, tonight you have tools that work with your body's natural wisdom. Think about what we've covered together. You've discovered the hidden nighttime drinks that silently raise blood pressure and learned how to swap them for a soothing alternative that nourishes instead of stresses. You've explored the way your body changes after 60, how tiny choices in food and routine can either strain or support your heart, and how a single calming ritual can set the stage for steadier mornings. This isn't about perfection or rigid rules. It's about consistent kindness to yourself. Maybe you'll start with just one change, like preparing the beet infusion or lavender honey water, and add the breathing practice later. Each step counts. Each night is a fresh opportunity to protect your heart and create more vibrant tomorrows. As you feel the warmth of your bedtime drink and the steadiness of your breath, let it be a quiet promise to yourself. I'm giving my body what it needs to heal. That promise carries more weight than any quick fix or flashy supplement ever could. Now I'd love to hear from you. What calming evening drink will you try first? Beet, lavender, hibiscus, or maybe a new creation of your own? Share it in the comments below so others can be inspired by your ideas. Your story might be the spark that helps someone else take their first step toward healthier nights. If this guide has given you hope or a fresh sense of control, please tap the like button. It tells the YouTube algorithm that senior health matters and helps more people find these life-changing tips. And if you haven't already, subscribe and ring the notification bell so you never miss the next science-backed way to care for your heart, your joints, and your whole body. Tonight, when you set down your cup and ease into bed, know that you're not just ending a day, you're beginning a new chapter of health and calm. Your heart is grateful, your blood pressure is steadier, and your future is brighter. Sleep well, and I'll see you in the next video.